The Long Way to France, a collaborative project for the sake of foreign language. Maria was so excited. Tomorrow she would go to the airport, board the airplane, and fly from the United States to France to see the Eiffel Tower. Maria went to bed early, but when she awoke, she had overslept. She was 2 hours late. There were no more airplanes going to France for many days. The airline worker told her, "But there is a flight to Peru. Maybe you can go to Peru and then buy a ticket to France." The flight south to Peru was very long. When the plane landed and Maria exited the airport, she was amazed. The landscape was so beautiful. Maria knew there was a famous ancient city in Peru. How could she get there? She saw a man walking by and asked, "Excuse me, sir, how can I get to Machu Picchu?" The man replied, "Machu Picchu? You can take the train to Aguas Calientes. It is 3.5 hours by train. Next, you must walk." "Thank you," Maria said excitedly. Then she took the train, walked for a few miles, and arrived at Machu Picchu. It was amazing. I should probably try to find a flight to France, she thought. Maria went back to the airport. "Excuse me, do you have any flights to France?" Maria asked the airline worker. "I'm sorry, we don't," the airline worker replied. "But we do have flights to Australia. Perhaps you can book a flight from Australia to France once you arrive." Maria was disappointed, but she had never been to Australia. She decided to buy a ticket to Australia. The flight to Australia seemed even longer than the flight to Peru. The plane flew west. Once the plane landed, Maria knew she had to see the famous Sydney Opera House. She found a taxi and asked the taxi driver to take her there. The taxi drove north. Maria was very impressed by the Sydney Opera House, but she knew she had to hurry to France. "Back to the airport, please," she said. Maria asked the airline worker for a ticket to France. "I'm sorry," the worker said. "We don't have any flights to France, but we do have flights to China. Perhaps you can try to buy a ticket to France in China." Maria sighed. "Okay," she said. The airplane from Australia to China flew north for 12 hours. Maria started to feel excited. She had heard about the famous Great Wall of China. "I have to see it while I'm in China," she thought to herself. Maria found a taxi driver at the airport. "Please take me to the Great Wall of China," she said. 2 hours later, they arrived. Maria could not believe how big the Great Wall of China is. Maria took a few pictures and then asked the taxi driver to go back to the airport. Once she arrived, she again asked the airline worker for a ticket to France. She was surprised to hear the airline worker reply, "Okay, one ticket to France, no problem." Maria was finally going to France. She couldn't believe it. The plane flew west, and then it landed. Maria followed the signs for the subway. She took the subway to Champ de Mars, Tour Eiffel, and then got off. Maria walked, and then she looked up. Finally, the Eiffel Tower.